episode of What's in the Arcade. And today we are going to be doing some gameplay, some tips and tricks with Double Dragon.
Okay, I got my quarter and it's Double Dragon time. This is one of my all-time favorite games that came out in later part of 1987. So the premise behind the game is that gang there just took Marion, and we've got to save her. Classic storyline here. So you have punch, kick, jump. You have 3 buttons in this game, and I'm just showing you some of the different moves that you can do. You know, there's a kick where it grabs them. You can do headbutts by pushing the joystick in either direction twice. And then if you use a combination of the buttons, either punch and jump together, or kick and jump together. So this is kick and jump, and that's worth a couple hundred points. A little bit harder to pull off, but it is a great move. And then the elbow is punch and jump together, and that's about 160 points, so a little bit less, but much easier to pull off. So we'll quit messing around and we'll just start going through the game here. So Billy and Jimmy are the heroes of this game, sometimes known as Hammer and Spike, depending on when you got the game and where it was released. So this game was so popular when it first came out that you couldn't even really get next to the game. You had to kind of wait in line and get your quarter up there to call next game. And I was a video game tech for Chuck E. Cheese, and we got this game brand new. And we actually had to move it out of the row or lineup that it was in, more towards the end of a row so that more people could crowd around and you could still walk by. That's how popular this game was. So you see that elbow just hits everything once they line up. Great strategy in beat-em-up games is how you can walk away from you and towards you. All you have to do is get out of line from the enemy and they will have to come to you and line up. And that's a great strategy for this game. Here we go. So once you get sort of the end boss here in the level on screen, if you can wait to kill him, then you can actually get the rest of the guys. If you kill him, the rest of them will just leave. And so you get more points if you can kill these guys first. So we got them all, so we'll just take care of him and be on our way. Okay, so there's a score glitch coming up that I'm going to explain to you guys in the next level here. You can do it here, and you can do it right before you go into the lair at the end. So one of the interesting ways that this game works is as long as you or an enemy does not fall down, you won't actually die. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of a couple of guys here. Make him blow up in his dynamite. There we go. Kick this guy over the edge. Do the same with this guy. And so the way that this works, you can do it here. A lot of people do it here. I'm going to go up on the next level, and when this guy comes, I'm going to do the kick where it grabs him and then stop and move the joystick away. Okay, so that didn't actually kill him. So when you grab him, you do it twice and you move away, and then you can do it again. Best is when he goes down on his knee to grab him. I'm a little rusty with it, but when he moves down onto his knee, you can grab him, and as long as you move away and he doesn't fall down, he won't die. So you can exploit that glitch for a long time, and a lot of players do. I'm just going to kill him and move on so we can get to the game. So anywhere there's a different level like that that's that tall, it doesn't even have to be that tall. You can do that score glitch. I always get rid of this stuff because they get in my way. Sometimes you accidentally pick things up, weapons or boxes, when you meant to do an elbow. So I've been working on this game for a couple of months. I used to be able to beat it on 1/4 when it first came out. I got really good at it when I was working at Chuck E. Cheese as their video game tech. And for the last couple of months I've been working on it, playing it every weekend, and let's see if we can get through it on this 1/4. I got a good feeling about this. This game also loves to slow down on you when there's too many enemies on screen. But you know, that was part of the game. We knew the game so well, we knew where it was going to slow down. And just accepted it. Because we'd never seen anything like this. Sometimes you can kick that guy up onto the little treadmill there and watch him try and scramble his way back. It's pretty funny. But I missed it there. There we go. Got a nice little jump freeze there. So even if your health boxes, you've got the 5 blue boxes down there at the bottom left. So even if I ran those all the way down, at the end of the level you get all your health back. As long as you don't die and lose a life, then you'll get that back. The other thing is, as long as you don't fall down, like I was saying before, even if all of your boxes are gone and you have no health left, you won't die as long as you don't hit the ground, which is kind of interesting. If you can make it to the end of the level, you'll get all that health back. So we've been through the slums. We have the factory, the forest. Well, we did the factory. We're going to be getting into the forest here, and at the end of that is the hideout. The music in this game is just phenomenal. We actually have this game at the front of the arcade, so when you come in and you're seeing the guy at the counter, you just hear this music in the background. I remember hearing the music for this game across the arcade every day when I was working there. And it's just got a great soundtrack. You can pick up bats and whips, so I just gained a life there at the 30,000 mark. We're just going to keep using the elbow so that we can make it through this game. That score glitch I was talking about, you can do it with any character on the screen. The reason you do it with the split level is because every time you go to get them in that headlock with the kick, you run the risk of them hitting you once, maybe even twice, and eventually that wears out your life. So you can't really do it, you know, on a plain level like this. So you see that hole in front of me to the right, you can actually fall in that and lose a life just by walking into it. So there's some dangers coming up in this level that let's see if I can get them to drop in here. There we go. Doesn't necessarily give you a lot of points, but that's kind of fun. If you stand right at the edge and give him an elbow, he'll fall right in. So a lot of times you'll lose a life right here. I like to get as close as I can and then do the jump over the water. But you know what? There goes one anyways. Alright. No more messing around. So if you stand too close to these bigger guys, when they get up, they'll grab you and throw you. Sometimes he'll even throw you right into the water, and you'll lose a whole life that way. So now we got some knives coming up. So this is interesting. Watch this glitch here. If you drop him in the water, I just lost all of my health. So that's... not sure where that came from, but as long as I don't fall down, I won't lose a life. I can get it back at the end here. That's one that I had discovered. Well, there goes one. Alright, this is going to be a little difficult now. I've got no backup lives, and I've got to finish this game. Hopefully I can do this for you guys, and here we go. We'll just toss him in the hole. But yeah, that's a glitch that does not work in your favor. It's okay, I know this game pretty well. The only tough part is going to be once we get into the hideout and getting by the blocks that come out. That can take a life too, and a lot of times I'll lose one there. So it's best when you hit those guys when they're carrying a barrel or a rock to either move away from you or move towards you so that you get out of line with them, just in case the barrel or rock, you know, bounces and rolls into you. So the other thing is, once you start hitting these guys, every time you hit them, they get up just a fraction of a second slower. So even if they're lined up and you hit both of them with the elbow, one of them may get up sooner than the other one. So you want to make sure you're not standing there. Great beat 'em up game though. This is the one that really set the bar for beat 'em ups that came after it. Everything from Final Fight, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, POW, Ninja Gaiden, you know, they all had a little special something to them. But this is the one that really set the bar. So you see how quickly he gets up, and you can walk off the edge here and lose a life. So I'm staying really close to about the mid-level, but I'm getting, you know, out of the alignment with him, so he has to correct and come to me to hit me. Here's one more. Yep, as soon as you miss. There we go. So it's really just practicing that elbow, getting used to using it, how long it takes, how long it actually stays out there, because you'll have enemies that just walk in, let's get this guy, blow him up with his own dynamite. So if I was going for points in this game, I would be hitting more of the enemies, maybe try to do more of that kick that I showed you in the beginning, which is the kick and jump button together. So this is a little tricky because you don't want to walk off the edge, but these guys get up at different times, one being faster than the other. So I've got them at a pretty good separation here. So you see that little step to the right there? That's the other place that you can do the score glitch. That guy that I killed already, it's best if you kill this one and then throw him up there, and you can exploit that score glitch because he's standing on a higher platform. Don't ever try and do it with one of these big guys. It doesn't work. You don't ever grab them in that headlock with that knee. So we'll just beat this guy up and see if we can make it past that first part in the hideout. If we do that, I'll beat the game. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to take this real slow because a lot of times I'll rush it and get hit by these blocks, and it takes a good couple boxes off of your health, and I can't afford that. Now it's going to narrow on me and make that kind of tough, but if I can shoot past it, I'll be okay. That was is close. So let's see. There it is. And here's where it gets narrow. Now, if I walk straight, I will fall straight into spikes, and the game's over. If I get hit by one of these, there we go. Okay, might actually beat the game. So again, do not move towards you here. You will fall straight off into the spikes. It's pretty much just left and right now. I've still got a couple interesting parts coming up here. Let's see if I get close enough, get past this spear, we'll be okay. Watch the pattern. So we did 3. 1, 2. There we go. Alright, so you got a little bit more room here. Forgot about that. It's alright, it's only one block of health. And you want to keep this close, because if you move forward, you're going to get a couple of those big guys breaking out of the wall. And best to take care of your enemies as they show up, instead of getting a whole bunch of them on screen. There's the first one. Nice, let's just throw that and waste that. So you see how they both just walked into that elbow. And again, if I was to move forward, I would... Well, I've got to get these guys first, but the end of the game is right in front of me to the right there. And there's going to be a whole bunch of enemies to play with, including Willie, who's got that machine gun. Alright. Okay, here we go. So I'm not going to go fully in there yet. I'm going to see if I can lure a guy around the corner before jumping in, take care of him. We got a couple, so let's see how this works out. You don't want to stand too close to the bat, because as you go to do your move, it will actually pick up the bat and you'll end up getting hit. Okay, we've got him stuck. Nope, alright. Sometimes you can get a guy stuck right where he is. There we go. I think the other guy there is stuck now. So we'll just finish off the big guy and then go back for him. We're getting down there. 2 boxes left. Let's, there we go. There's the end theme song too. I moved forward enough that it's recognizing I'm in that final room. It's okay. Let's take care of this guy. So the guy that just popped up that's over by Marion there, there's going to be 3 of those guys, and they're pretty fast and pretty tricky. But if you kill Willie, they'll leave. You don't actually have to kill those guys. But again, if you're going for points, you want to make sure that you kill every enemy that you can. And we should see him walking by here pretty soon, and he'll open those big double doors, and you've just got to stay next to him, because if he fires that gun and hits that, that's it, game over. So this is a great space for the final battle because there's so much room. Again, you can walk too far forward or close to you and fall off into the spikes. So you want to make sure you're using the room, the space that they've given you here. So here's the third guy. And we want to just stay next to Willie without getting caught by these guys. And that can be a challenge sometimes. Because if he lines up with you and fires that gun, it's 3 or 4 bullets, and it will take at least 3 health boxes, which would end the game for me. Go. There we go. A couple more hits, and I think we'll get him. Without their boss, these guys are just wimps. They're all going to run away. Let me see if I can get a couple hits in. No, they're out of here. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. That's how you play Double Dragon on 1/4. Obviously, could have done a little better, but that was fun. Kind of messing around a little bit. And there we go. We have gained the affections of Marion. All right. That was awesome. Double Dragon is here in the original cabinet, original hardware, playing just like it did back in 1987. So we will see you guys here at the arcade.